All right, guys, gals, peoples, you know the routine. This is episode 7, and I don't have any idea what we're going to talk about. No, I'm just kidding. But I think that you will notice that I am not in the regular place. You will probably notice the sights and sounds are different. What? You don't hear any motorcycles or trucks or dogs barking? Which, those are all joyful things. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's different. Well, yeah, that's because I'm back in New York. And now I will say not New York City. I live way out on Long Island, and that's where I am right now. So it's summer here, and noticeably winter in Caxias, so it is actually nice to be in some sunny weather. So my husband and I have been walking to the beach every day, and so I thought, well, why don't I take you guys on a walk to the beach and you can see what I see, and maybe not do what I do, because I'm not going to go swimming right now with you, but we are going to do it later today. Any hoozle. Oh, it looks like I need to cross the street. Okay, so this is my nice little, I guess I can't call it rural area, but where I live, but it's semi-rural or semi-suburban. I don't know. I mean, there's houses around and there's stores and things like that nearby. This is our favorite little place, Nick's Nook. And it's just like this little place where obviously they have food, like a deli or something, that'll make food for you. But we'll get like waters and drinks and chips and things from here before we go to the beach. And they're just super, super nice. The other day we were in there and we were paying in cash, and I don't know, we had enough money, but we would have had to break like a 20 or 10 or something. And they were like, that's okay. We'll just whatever, that's fine. So we just gave them what we had. Well, then the next day when we came in, let's see, I would have, or there was somehow where the math worked out perfectly, where I was just like, oh, you guys spotted me this much yesterday, so I'm just going to spot you guys this much, so they didn't have to give me back change. Anyway, that was a motorcycle. So we're going to talk today about, or well, at least what we're talking about today is inspired by my dreams, as it always is. And I'm definitely going to talk to you about the dream that I had last night. And I'm going to cross the street here. This is the same walk that I take with my hubby. Anyway, so I started doing one of a practitioner that we work with, healing meditations last night. Now, she has a lot of healing meditations that she does, and this is Katie, by the way, and you'll see her on our website. She runs the Vital Balance program, and her along with Nikki, they do some beautiful healings. Anyway, in the 10-step program, Vital Balance is important because it's so karma that we hold in our body whether it's just kind of held in our emotional field or in our aura, or it has taken root physically in our body, it's important to address. And we have that, I guess what I call corporeal karma, because of programming. We have that, or unresolved, anything that's unresolved, whether, like, you can say, oh, it's from a past life, you can say it's from a parallel existence, you can say it's from whatever you want to say it's from. That part doesn't really matter. The fact is that you're holding it in your body. Sometimes it's taken, it's rooted pretty deeply, and we need to get that out. We need to dissolve that, pull it up. If it's something that you need to know, it will come up in your dreams, or in your awareness. Anyway, so she has several different healing meditations, and they're all based on body systems. And anyway, the newest one just dropped the other day. She did a healing on the nervous system. And I've been seeing this, I wouldn't say a lot. Like, what I mostly see in people's dreams is the heart, the stomach, the digestive system. But I'll definitely see other things. Oh my gosh, there's a deer, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. Look. Yes, you can see it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Cutie, cutie. Hopefully I'll see more. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. So Katie has, and then another thing that I see a lot is the reproductive system, whether it's the male or female. I see that a lot in dreams too. Liver, kidneys, bladder. Anyway, I guess there's no body part that doesn't show up in dreams, because bodies are part of what we have here on Earth. Anyway, my point is not that. My point is that this newest one dropped about the nervous system. And I don't know why, but I've just been waiting. Like, I've just been so excited about this one, because I have this thing where sometimes I feel like I'm kind of clenching my body. And then I realize, oh, well, I'm like holding, right? I'm holding the stress in, I'm holding whatever it is, and kind of like, looking at it karmically, I feel like there's something that I am afraid to let go of, or afraid to just let it go. I don't know. Anyway, so I've done so much emotional work, so much. And I knew there was just something regarding my body. Like, my body needs to know. My body needs to let go of programming. So I just did it one night, but had 3 wonderfully awesome dreams that definitely show the nervous system. But I wanted to ultimately talk about one that really just talks about karma and dharma, because, like I said, ultimately it's about karma. And why do I even care? Like, why am I worried about my nervous system or my stomach? Like, why don't I just go take a pill, right? Or go to a spa? Well, because it's not about that. It's not about putting a Band-Aid on anything. It's about the ultimate freedom from that thing, whatever it is. So, anyway, let me just point out, when we drive here, we usually don't drive though, we walk, but there's this little place, and it, they'll take your permit, or they'll charge like $10 or something to park. I also wanted to point out, no pets year round. And that would not do in Brazil, let me tell you that. in Brazil, oh, it's so lovely. Animals are so honored. Like my old dog, Sadie, she could never come here, just sad. But Mashka, if I brought Mashka to New York, she couldn't come here. So it's like, ooh, why would I want to be here? No, I'm just joking, but I'm just pointing that out. Okay, so the dream and the karma and whatnot. Well, these branches are a little bit low, but it's worth it to be in the shade. So one of the dreams I had was I was basically, well, I'll just set up the scene. There was a woman across the table from me, and she was kind of talking to people about their different healing journeys and encouraging them and saying, yep, you're in the right place at the right time, like everything is aligning, and just being really positive. And I felt like that was an aspect of me and what I do in the Dharma Vita. But then there's a lady sitting to my left, and she starts talking about her journey, and it has to do with releasing karma and being on the Dharmic path. Like, she's talking about she's on the Dharmic path, but I don't know, she was unsure about something, or felt like maybe sometimes she wasn't, and was that, why, or what's that all about? And the woman across from me is trying to talk to that person and said, well, being in Dharma is just real quick. It's just a couple weeks and it's real quick. Like, it's kind of like, what are you worried about? It's just quick. So then the woman that was sitting to the left of me, who was talking about her journey on Dharma, just kind of was like, oh, okay. And she started to leave, but then I pulled her aside and I said, wait a second, let me talk to you about that. And so just to set this up for you all, so ultimately the dream was reflecting what I do, how I help others who are on this path with me, and it's reflecting my own recognition of limitations I'm having and things that I'm working through simultaneously. So anyway, all of these women ultimately represent some aspect of me. And I remember when I was writing down the dream, I was saying it seemed like the woman across the table from me and the woman to the left of me were actually the same person. Like, one was an iteration of the other. So I'm going to cross the street because there's a person coming up, and I don't really think they want to be on camera. Maybe they do, they're shirtless and stuff, so maybe they're like, yeah, I want to be on camera. But anyway, it is a public place. Not for dogs, though. What was I saying? I always do this. I'm like, losing my train of thought. Yay! So, so they were all kind of iterations of this person in various places on their journey. But as we know, Dharma is non-linear. I mean, we are non-linear beings experiencing linearity. I don't know if I said that right. I'm going to cross the street again. So, isn't it just beautiful here? So green. It really is a beautiful place to be. And there's, what are those things called? Like, not campgrounds. There are campgrounds here, but there's like picnic tables and places where families can gather and have parties and things. And it was just the 4th of July, so over the weekend, yeah, it was completely filled. Anyway, so I kind of grabbed this woman's attention and I say, hey, let me talk to you about that. And I said, actually the moving out of karma and into Dharma is exactly what me and my partner do. And I will tell you that, yeah, it's really fast to get into Dharma, but it's just as fast to be popped off of it. And I was just explaining what that looks like and saying, and I'll add too, like I said, that's why our program is 10 months, because although it's really easy, or it can be easy to get into Dharma, it takes so much commitment because you keep on popping out of Dharma and back into karma, out of Dharma into karma. And if you're not committed to it, you're just going to probably kind of give up or maybe not notice things. So, and one of the things that I've noticed with our group that is in the 10-step program right now is that they are noticing these patterns now, and they are practicing on being able to pull themselves out of those looping programming thoughts, you know. They'll see, oh wow, this is where I'm looping. This is where I'm kind of coming out of compassion and into this like self-judgment and self-hate and things like that. And so anyway, that's super encouraging. And in my dream, I was explaining this and saying, yeah, it just takes so much commitment, and you have to recognize, you have to learn or start to be able to put yourself back into Dharma, because I don't want, and it's not freedom if you have to keep coming back to Janice and Melissa to put you on the Dharmic path, to, you know, talk to you about your programming, and which we're happy to do, and of course that's what we do, but you know, with the ultimate goal of preparing everybody to be able to do that for themselves. And so I'm explaining all of this in a very brief way. And there's squirrels. Okay, I thought, no, it's a groundhog. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. It's kind of dark. No, I can't. I couldn't really find it. But so in the dream, I'm just basically telling another iteration of myself. Look, here's where you are. You, because the woman in the dream said, oh, well, yeah, I find that I'm in karma sometimes, and I'm not quite sure what to do with that. And so I said, well, yeah, I mean, this is what you're doing is you're realizing that you're moving into a karmic pattern, but also that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. If there was, you know, that would be a judgment, and that would be against, like, why are we even here on earth, right? Like, we don't need to be judging ourselves when we're popping into karma. But what we do in 10-step is begin to recognize that. And it's not just 10-step where we do this. I mean, you could join Silver Fox, like a weekly dream interpretation group where myself or Katie will look at your dreams and we'll talk to you about your programming, we'll point it out to you, we'll give you, what am I trying to say? We'll give you tools or recommend different programs or like different classes that we have, different healings that we have to help you through that. So, yeah, but I'm just talking about this in context of 10-step because it's this beautiful group that we are just holding, you know, and learning so much from. You're going to hear my ankle pop. Oh my gosh, why is it doing that? Never heard it do that before when I'm walking down here, but it's a pretty kind of steep hill. Anyway, it is, oh gosh, it is so distracting. All right, so what was I going to say anyway? Let's see, so where did I leave you guys? So I'm just telling her, yeah, like you just need to recognize it and then work yourself back into Dharma, and it's no big deal. And you learn that in 10-step. I'm not aware of other ways that are teaching that, but I know we're not the only ones, helping prepare people for the Ascension or helping to bring people in Dharma. But I'm just talking about what I know of. And so that's what I'm talking to this woman about in the dream, and just explaining to her that's what we do, and that's what you need to do, right? And not let it be a big deal. And so after I woke up and I'm writing this out, I'm just kind of thinking, yeah, that's pretty much where I feel I am. And maybe it's good that I had that dream because I could reflect on it for you all. It's sometimes so subtle to notice that you're making any shifts, because healing can be subtle and it can be piecemeal and in layers, so we don't always notice when big things have happened. But for me, getting out of the looping and also being able to be karmic as needed has been really important, and it's definitely showing a different iteration of me, for sure. Now, we just came up to the beach. See, I told you that we were going to come up to the beach. But I'll get closer because you don't believe me yet, because the water looks like sky. And anyway, don't worry, we'll get there. So yeah, there's this new iteration of me running around free. And I do notice when I'll get into a karmic pattern, and sometimes it's appropriate just to stay there. And the point is that it's okay. Like, all right, well, that's where I am right now. And when it's appropriate for me to, we're going to go this way. I could keep going straight. I don't know. I could. Anyway, I'm not. How dharmic. So when we recognize that we are having these karmic patterns, just continue to live. And don't say, oh my gosh, like, I'm such a loser, or, oh wow, I haven't healed at all. Look at me, I'm reverting back to this. But if you can catch that, that's the thing. You can catch that. Oh, this is a pattern. That's even a big deal. That's such a big deal. And then what do you do with that pattern? Look how beautiful it is now. You can definitely see the beach. This is the beach near our house. And I think I'll just walk along. Hopefully no one will get mad with that I'm filming, but it is public, so yeah, I guess you all should probably want to see the ocean as I'm moving. It's a little awkward, I guess, to talk. I don't know why it shouldn't be. Maybe all the sound of the rocks, hopefully you can hear me. But it's just like, recognize the pattern. If nothing else, like, just tell yourself, even before you go to sleep tonight, tell yourself, I'm going to have a dream that's going to show me a programming pattern that I have. And then let me know what that dream is. I mean, that's what we do. We pull out those patterns. I mean, I have a class of dream interpreters that I'm teaching right now who have just finished the programming module, and they're all qualified to find programming out of your dreams. In fact, I'll just say it right now, I'm looking for dream volunteers to help my Dream Lab students. So if you're interested in having your dream interpreted, let me know. Put it in the comments if you're not already in one of our classes, because in all of our classes we help you see your programming in your dreams, and Melissa clears your programming. So if you're not in a class, well, say, hey, I'm interested in being a dream volunteer. It's going to be really neat. You're going to get some free healings. You're going to get your programming cleared. You're going to interact with us and have your dreams interpreted. So as the instructor, I will be at all of the sessions. It's not like I'm just passing you off to the dream students, which actually would be just fine. They're all so great. But anyway, let's just move on from that topic. But what topic were we on? I don't remember. Okay. I don't know what this is. Let's just look, see what it is. Oh, bells. What the heck? What a treasure! Bells! I don't know. Is this a fishing thing? I don't know. We'll bring it with us maybe as a treasure. Okay. So more of the beach. See no one around. Can you believe that? Just like this big, beautiful beach and no one is around. Why don't I just sit on this nice piece of nature here and finish talking to you? That way you can hear the ocean, hopefully, and just watch it as my voice soothes you. So, what were we talking about? Right. Just recognizing the pattern is such a big deal. Now, what I'll usually say is, well, in Silver Fox, of course, I'll recommend healing programs because Dharma Vita does so much, and I've literally seen thousands of dreams. And myself, I've had thousands of dreams and I've recorded them, but I've also seen thousands of clients' dreams and interpreted them. And Katie has done hundreds at this point. And I'm always recommending, oh, you should try this, you should do that. A couple dreams that I just saw today had aspects of them where the person would definitely benefit from the soul companion's work. Now, if I haven't talked to you about that, let me just say it is a new meditation healing that I just created, and it goes into the lessons that we can learn from our beloved pets. Animals, not just pets, right? Like just animals. And what can we bring from that relationship? Like, are we just having that love and loyalty and experiencing it and then not applying it to anything? Because that would be karma, right? Like we're just maybe having this pet in my life will help me experience love. Well, okay, but what are you doing with that? Are you then becoming love? Are you then becoming more compassionate to other people? I don't know. That's the question, right? So this meditation healing helps to bring that up. And it also helps to soften the way that we look at human relationships. Because, I'm sure you guys have seen that t-shirt or maybe a greeting card or something, or a bumper sticker that says, people suck, that's why I have a dog, or something like that. And I know I didn't get the wording right, but I think you know what I mean, right? Is that people, humans, have disappointed us, have, betrayed us. There's so many things that humans do that animals don't do, which is kind of odd because aren't we animals? So what I would like is for us to be able to see humans compassionately the way that we see our beloved soul companion animals. So that's the idea of that healing meditation. And I don't know why I started talking to you about that, but I'm sure there was a reason. And I think it was just to give you an example of what kind of healing I might recommend. But also it's a dharmic way of living, right? It's a way to dissolve your karma. We don't need the karma. Like, obviously we're here on earth and there is some karma, and I guess I don't want to get into that. And maybe my ideas on that aren't fully formed either, so I'm not gonna talk about it right now. Maybe next. I don't know. Why am I continuing to say this? Okay. So we want to release that. We want to release that programming that humans suck. In as few words as possible, we need to release that programming. So working on the soul companions meditation healing, which is part of a healing group that I call family work. And in family work, there's Eternal Flames, which is a healing that brings up really strong soul contracts. Often these show up in dreams as one of your children, or just one person who's very close to you and very significant to you. But sometimes it can bring up things like twin flame kind of energy, whether positive or feeling like it's a non-beneficial relationship. I just, either way, they will show up in eternal flames. And then there's familiar frequencies, which is the main thing in that one is releasing pain. It's allowing you to see pain as a physical object, and then you're letting yourself release it. When I created this one, I had the intent to work on family relationships, but in the meditation itself, I don't mention that. Like I said, it's about pain and releasing pain. But what ends up happening is that people's families show up in dreams because that's a big pain point for many of us. So the next one is the soul companions, and then after that is a sadness relief and a sovereignty, a sovereignty exercise. And that's the family work. So again, I don't 100% know why I'm telling you this, and it's beautiful because now we've got some Fisher people coming and doing what they love to do. So, what next? What can we talk about next? So, ultimately, my dream, I think, was helpful in showing where I am and maybe what I need to remind myself of if I do get into a situation of karma, is don't worry about it, right? And I've even found a lot of my friends coming to me, it's like I notice it more, right? I notice, whoa, you're in this looping pattern. And like one person in particular was just telling me, oh, I'm so worried about this. And it was, I don't know, not hearing from somebody for a certain amount of time. And, oh, I'm so worried that they're, I don't know, mad at me, or they're not okay, or something like that. And I just kept telling this person, like, there's nothing you can do about that. You have to let them be them. And when the time for them to come to you comes, then you'll be ready for it. But, I was just trying to walk that person through how to let go of that and how to not be stymied by that all day long. The pattern is so familiar to me because, yeah, I used to get all in my head and worry, and then I just, then it just turned into somehow, like I said earlier, somehow at some point I stopped doing that, and I don't even know if I know when I stopped. I just know that healing happens in bits and pieces and layers, and sometimes you don't know how far you are until you look at your dream and you say, wow, I have changed. I mean, somebody's dream I just looked at today showed that she walked into a shower room and there were plenty of showers and there was plenty of space for her. And she had written a note in her dream document that said in previous dreams she's seen the same shower rooms, but they've been full of clutter and junk, and there hasn't been any space for her to even take a shower. So symbolically, you can see how the work that she's done so far, and she's been working with us for about 10 weeks, maybe 11 weeks now, and currently going through the familiar frequencies. And in fact, that dream that I'm telling you about was seeded by the familiar frequencies healing. So what I'm just trying to say is, I really should have turned the camera a few times so you guys weren't looking at the same scenes. But what I'm trying to say is just work on your stuff and don't give up. And if you see a pattern, something that you're repeating, maybe it's like, oh, I keep having narcissist partners. Well, that's a huge clue, right? At that point, you've probably had many clues, but you just were so numb, or your heart was so traumatized already. Maybe you had a birth wound and you've just been that your entire life. But any pattern you see, start to just call it out for what it is, right? Like, oh, here's the pattern and here's what I do. And try not to point the finger of blame. Even if you know where it came from, try to say to yourself, there's a reason I'm drawing this pattern to me. If you can't elucidate what that is, and just speaking from my own experience, 3 years ago, I couldn't have done that. So, don't get down on yourself, but you've recognized the pattern. Now, just sign up for dream interpretation or something. Do Silver Fox. It is so cheap, I'm telling you. You get to have one dream meeting a week, and you will get so much information from just that one. And so you get to have that one per week, and the program goes for, well, it's not really a program, you can renew it, but it's like an automatic payment for 5 weeks, $26 per week. I mean, come on. So much value out of that. And just do that. And me or Katie will gently provide you with what you need. And for what the dream is bringing up. So don't worry about that. Just come and get your dream looked at, and we're gonna help you so much. So one last thing I'll say is, what an easy thing to do when you do see a pattern, when you can figure out what the pattern is to create yourself an affirmation or a mantra. But you've really got to, if this is all you're going to do, you've really got to use that mantra a lot. And but that will start to show up in your dreams too. And so I use this one mantra for 90 days. And it was that I am important, because that was one of my core birth wounds, is not feeling like I was worth anything. I'm pretty sure that I've mentioned this in one of these podcasts. I tell this story a lot. But I didn't think I was worth anything, and so I didn't feel like I was important. So the mantra was, I am important, and it's so simple. And so I did this mantra for 90 days. And there's a few other things that I did to support it, but really, essentially, it was not much. It was not much more than that. So at the least, you can do that. At the most, yeah, you can go into one of our healing programs. I mean, maximally the 10-step program, but we have many others that get to some of this the core wounds and the core healing, like the 12 chakra birth wound transformation journey is a big one. And like I mentioned, vital balance, like if it's really, you notice a lot of stuff around your body, like a new healing that's coming is around metabolism and weight. So, and I know you're going to think I'm crazy for saying this, but hey, that's Dharmic, baby. We say, oh, well, it's calories in, calories out. Or I've got, this extra 5 pounds on me because I ate too many Pringles pizza flavored chips. I mean, there's some truth to it, but what I'm saying is, like, vital balance will get to the underlying programming of, like, okay, well, let's just go with the Pringles chips thing. Okay, well, but why am I eating too many of them? What's that about? So the programming is what that's about. Anyway, I think it is time to go. I am sweating pretty badly. It's very hot and humid out here. Let me just show you, if it's not too late, if my phone might be overheated, just the bluffs here. That, of course, you can't really climb up them or anything because they will collapse, maybe. But I just wanted you to see it. It's very beautiful. But anyway, let's see a full 360 of the beach. There's way more that way, and again, we're into the bluffs. So, okay, well, that's all for now, and I will see you next week. I love you all. Stay Dharmic.